If you've ever made a perfect budget on a Sunday, only to watch it completely fall apart by Wednesday, then you know exactly how frustrating overspending can be. Today, we're going to dig into why that happens and look at one surprisingly simple strategy that might just be the thing that helps you stop for good.
Right? It's a question so many of us ask ourselves. You start with the absolute best intentions, you lay out a solid plan, but then you look at your bank account at the end of the month and you're just like, wait, where did it all go? Let's really get into why this is such a common human struggle.
You know, most of the financial advice out there pretty much boils down to one thing. Just have more willpower. Just try harder, right? But what if that is completely the wrong way to look at it? What if the real key to saving money isn't about fighting our impulses, but about outsmarting them before they even get a chance to show up? To really get our heads around the solution, we first have to understand the problem. And it all starts with this idea that I call the willpower trap. Okay, so we tend to think of willpower as some kind of moral virtue. Either you have it or you don't. But that's not it at all. It's much more like a muscle, or maybe even your phone's battery. You start every single day with a full charge, but every little decision you make, what to wear, what to eat for lunch, how to answer that annoying email, it drains that battery bit by bit. And this chart, this shows you exactly what that looks like in real life. In the morning, your willpower is at its peak. Skipping that $5 latte is no problem. But fast forward to 9 p.m., after a totally draining day at work, your defenses are completely down. And that late-night online shopping spree, it doesn't just feel tempting, it feels kind of inevitable. So here's the real bottom line. If your entire financial strategy relies on a resource that you are guaranteed to run out of every single day, well, that's not a strategy. It's a setup. You're basically planning to fail.
In this whole problem with willpower, it directly explains why another super common financial tool, the budget, so often just falls to pieces.
Come on, we've all been here. On the left, you've got that beautiful, clean, orderly budget you made on Sunday night. And on the right, you have life, an unexpected car repair, a last-minute dinner with friends. Reality is messy, and our perfect little plans almost never survive it.
See, the fundamental problem is that budgets treat our spending like it's a math problem, when it's actually a psychology problem. They just don't account for things like decision fatigue, that drained willpower we were just talking about, or the social pressure to say yes to that expensive night out. They're just not built for how our brains actually work.
Okay, so if willpower is a trap and our budgets are basically broken, what's left? Are we just doomed? Well, no. It turns out there's a much, much smarter way to think about all of this. And here it is. This is that smarter way. The solution isn't about having more discipline or finding a fancier budgeting app. It is a completely different strategy. Let's call it the permanent control trick. This right here is the core idea, and honestly, it's a total game changer. You stop trying to fight your impulses head on. Instead, you actually change the environment around you so that the good choices become the easy default option and the bad choices become inconvenient. You basically shift from being a fighter to being an architect. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? You stop being the overworked police officer, constantly trying to chase down and arrest your bad habits. Instead, you become the clever architect, designing a system where those bad habits barely even have a chance to show up in the first place. Okay, so how does this actually work in the real world? It all comes down to one really simple but incredibly powerful concept. And that key concept is friction. Now, friction is just any little obstacle, any tiny bit of effort that makes an action harder to do. And we can use this to our advantage. I mean, think about it. A company like Amazon spends billions of dollars to make it as easy as possible for you to spend your money. They remove every single point of friction. One-click ordering, saved credit cards, the works. All this strategy does is flip that exact same script. You intentionally add friction to the things you want to do less of, and you remove it from the things you want to do more of. All right, let's make this super practical. Here is a simple 3-step plan you can literally use to put this into action right away. Now, the absolute beauty of this is how simple it is. First, and this is important, you don't try to change everything at once. Just pick one specific trigger for your overspending. Second, you just add a little bit of friction to make that bad habit harder. And third, you remove friction to make a better choice easier. That's it. So let's see what this actually looks like. Let's say late-night takeout is your kryptonite. Adding friction just means deleting the delivery apps from your phone. Suddenly, the hassle of having to go find the website and log in, that might be all it takes for you to reconsider. Or for online shopping, just log out of your account and unsave your credit card.
That one extra step of having to get up and find your wallet gives your rational brain a crucial second to step in and ask, wait, do I really need this?
And what you'll find is when you start applying this, it's actually more than just a few clever tricks. It's a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and your money.
This right here, this is the ultimate takeaway. You stop being a financial manager, someone who's just reacting to problems and constantly putting out fires. Instead, you become a financial architect, someone who proactively designs a system where those fires rarely even get a chance to start.
And this is the whole philosophy in a nutshell. The goal isn't to become a superhero with perfect self-control. It's to build a perfectly designed system that requires way less of it. You're simply making smart financial choices the path of least resistance.
So let's end with this question. Don't try to overhaul your entire life tomorrow. Just think about one small thing. What is one tiny piece of friction you could add to a bad habit or remove from a good one the moment this explainer is over? Because that one small intentional action, that's where the real change begins.